Okay, we will start shortly. Just sending out the link to people who are interested, like you. Okay, we are back. Literally, like, not even the next minute. Okay, not even the next hour. But we're back because I messed up the audio for the last video. Um, so now I'm just gonna just go over the same things again. So if you saw the last stream, even though it was absolute terrible audio, I do apologize. But we will go over this again. If you didn't watch the last stream, um, yeah, which has now been taken down. But it's essentially the same content. But yeah, anyway, moving on. This is this week's market update, and I'd like to welcome you back to another crypto astrology video. And we're going to look at the news and analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polkadot this week. And let's get into it. So we've got some really big news this week that actually pushed the price up to right now 61.6 thousand US dollars for the price of Bitcoin, all the way up from around 57,000 last week. So that's pretty good. That's already like a 7% so increase from the price last week, and pretty much really good. By the way, let me know if you have any other videos you want me to do, maybe some analysis on some other coins, or if there's anything wrong with the audio on this stream. I could be wrong. I did try and fix the audio, and I do think I fixed it, but I could be wrong. So let me know if that is the case. Now, let's take a look at the news for this week, which has been really fucking good. Is that the SEC has approved a Bitcoin ETF, and like a proper Bitcoin ETF on Bitcoin futures. So it's actually called the ProShares Bitcoin ETF, and it will be rolling out this Monday on US time. So probably a Tuesday in Australia if you're an Aussie like me, and it's going to be called the BITO, which is a Bitcoin strategy ETF based on the futures contracts. So this is getting closer towards an actual Bitcoin ETF of the actual Bitcoin that actually holds Bitcoin, like on the balance sheet. And this is really good. So this is sort of an extension of the news from last week, where we're getting all these fake sort of news about like another ETF coming for Bitcoin, or multiple ETFs coming. And I do think that is the case. That will be happening, but it just wasn't last week. It was this week, right? We got a ProShares ETF. And that will likely continue to increase the price over the long term for Bitcoin throughout the rest of the year. And right now we are probably going to see more ETFs coming out. So ARK Invest, BlockFi, Bitwise, Advisor Shares, all of these ETFs will likely come out before the end of the year, so in November, December, and that will likely push the price up as well. However, I do want to warn you that last time whenever we had some sort of announcement of good news, it is generally good, but when it actually comes to fruition, it's kind of bad actually. So when we saw the announcement, when the coming of fruition for El Salvador, we actually did see this huge drop on the same day of about 90% on the 7th of September. So do be aware that when these ETFs actually do come out, we might actually see a pullback. And what we notice is that these green bars that I've drawn today is when the fear and greed, which we've been tracking, the fear and greed index is at pretty much highs. So when it's come from 20 to around 78 in the span of like 2 weeks, it's generally a cause for some sort of concern, and we might expect some sort of pullback. But I do expect that pullback to be another buying opportunity. And in any case, the price action right now is suggesting that we will continue up higher. If we do look at the news that we want to keep an eye out for the rest of the year, is anything about ETFs or anything about more countries accepting Bitcoin as legal tender will be extremely bullish, and will only cause more and more interest into the Bitcoin sphere and the crypto sphere in general, and that will just carry on to other coins as well. So yeah, that's stuff to look out for the rest of the year as well. And if you're around in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in 2017 for the last bull market, you'll notice that some of the things that actually spurred the last parabolic move upwards, which we should be sort of getting ready for. See, in the last month, it actually increased 2.5 times, and now that's incredible gains for any asset class, and we should be expecting something like that in the coming months due to this ETF and these other ETFs coming to fruition. And it will only just increase the price of those of these assets from there. And that was sort of spurred on by the listing of Bitcoin in futures contracts on the CME, the Central Mercantile Exchange, which is what the ProShares ETF is going to be on, and it's going to be on the CME this Monday. That is really fast. And so do expect incredible price increases over the next few months, as per a lot of predictions. So CryptoCraft is a good website to have a look at all the news that's been coming out. And if you look, it's all pretty much good. I mean, yeah, well, look at all this. It's all about ETFs and ETFs. Now, do be aware that this ETF is a futures ETF, so it isn't actually correlated with the Bitcoin. It is correlated with the Bitcoin price, but it's not 1-to-1. And it's for regular investors like you and me. This is nothing we want to deal with, right? Because there's all these middlemen in an ETF. There's all the regulators, the lawyers, and all of those guys take a slice of the cake of your gains pretty much. And so if you want Bitcoin price, you want to maximize your value from the Bitcoin price. You just want to buy the underlying Bitcoin itself. You don't really want to touch this ETF. But what this ETF will do is it'll allow all these regulated institutions and hedge funds and like pension funds to be able to invest in Bitcoin and get exposure to cryptocurrency through this ETF, and it'll definitely pull up Bitcoin, and eventually it will pull up the rest of the cryptocurrency market as well. So do look out for that in the future. Now let's take a look at our long-term quantitative analysis. So we do look at this logarithmic growth curve, and right now it's sort of predicting a price of around $150,000 by the end of the year, which I do think is possible. I do think this does overshoot the probable value, but right now we've broken past the midline, which is incredibly bullish. So there you go. This rainbow chart is basically the last chart, but put into a colorful way to make it more visual. The hodl wave, it's looking all right. Not exactly getting a huge downward slope right now, so that is good. We are nowhere near the 200-week moving average, so it's still blue, so not a terrible time to buy right now. Right now, we are not seeing huge hits on Bitcoin or on Google searches, so we are probably not near a top as well. See, we top on the MRV and that's the top on Bitcoin. Right now we're quite low, so no top in sight right now. Same here, top on the high cycle top, and we top on Bitcoin. This has actually been accurate to 3 days, and it's been correct 4 out of 4 times. So I do put a heavy weighting on this, and whenever we see an upwards curve on this pi cycle, it's generally a good move. Right now we have an upwards curve, so guess what? We probably will see another all-time high and a parabolic top, maybe even end of this year. So that is very good. Go to pure multiple. When we see a bottom on this, there's a bottom on Bitcoin price, and when we see a top on this, it's a top on, well, the Bitcoin price as well. So right now we aren't seeing any tops. We're not even close to the top we had in April. So looking good ahead. Fear and greed is an extreme greed, as I mentioned before. So you might be looking for a short-term pullback here, but in any case, it will be a buying opportunity to whatever level we come down to. And how we will know what level to come down to? Well, we should look at some moving. Probably not this chart. It's a bit messy. Let's look at some moving averages. So this green line has been pretty good for a lot of bounces on the 4-hour time frame. This is the 55 EMA, and this one is the 21 EMA. Some good lines to buy here. So if we do see a pullback, we might see a pullback to the yellow line, 58.6, and I expect that'll probably be a good buying opportunity as well. And if we see a further pullback, 56, I expect another good buying opportunity as well. If you look at the daily, it is way down, and if in any case, I do not expect we will come back down to this point anytime soon, because this has been a massive reaccumulation zone. As you know, this would be in the Wyckoff accumulation back around 30k range and 40k range, and right now we're coming back up, and we're coming back up to new our previous all-time highs, and that is not bearish, not bad for price action at all. It is very good. We will likely see like the bear trap we had here when we come back up to meet the place where we started descending. That generally means that we will continue up the opposite direction as well. So I do expect that we will probably continue up the opposite direction as well into new all-time highs before we see another pullback. And well, here on the momentum, we do see we will continue rising above 58.9. So as long as we keep above there, I do suspect that we'll probably continue shooting upwards from there. If we look at the RSI analysis, the RSI has been statistically very good for resistance and support lines for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's go to Ethereum for here. You can see the lines. Basically, we've broken up above all of our support lines for Ethereum. And well, if on the 1 hour we do come back down to here, maybe back to 38k on Ethereum, I suspect that'll be another buying opportunity over the weekend. Bitcoin has broken above this 4-hour resistance, so I do suspect it's bullish, and it's taking some support on this 1-hour line as well. I do suspect that we'll probably move up first before we see any pullback right now. If we do continue this line, we see a bounce off the Ethereum, and well, that's certainly not bearish. That is certainly very bullish. And as you can see, if we draw this line here, if we break out here, it's probably very bullish, and I do think we will break out probably Monday. We might see a huge pump on Monday, and Ethereum will be following Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin actually does push back up to all-time highs, people will be really drawn towards Bitcoin and probably Ethereum as well. But we probably will see a bigger move on Bitcoin before we see a bigger move on Ethereum. In any case, very good over the next week and month. Okay, so I've also been requested to have a look at DOT. So we will look at Polkadot as well. And I did draw a couple lines on Polkadot. So if we look at the 1 day, this has been very good. So we will probably do suspect that we will see a bigger move, continuation on Polkadot, probably break through all-time highs once Bitcoin breaks through all-time highs, which I do suspect will be very soon based off this daily accumulation, this daily sort of channel on the RSI from all the way since August. And it's going on, well, it's been over a month, and well, I probably do suspect that we'll continue to see movement on the RSI and probably following movement on the price action as well. And if we ever do correct, which we really will do, but I don't think it will happen anytime soon, we probably will see another test back to the support line. And I'm telling you, that is a buying opportunity. And it'll probably coincide with another support line on the dot RSI as well. And if we do see it on the 1 hourly, a support line, the support hit the RSI, I mean the 1 hourly channel, not channel, the 1 hour support line, sorry, probably another buying opportunity there for the short term as well. As long as we are above $40 for dot, I suspect it's probably a good buying opportunity, and very well does continue higher based off this breakout. So that is very, very good. If we look at some shorter time frames for dot on the 4 hour, we do see this channel holding. If we do break below this channel on a closure of the 4 hour RSI, I probably will suspect that we will come down a little bit further. And that will likely correlate with Bitcoin price going down as well. So do keep an eye out for that over the next few weeks, and I will be actually looking at this over the next few weeks as well. So do continue watching. I'll be looking at this every week and giving you updates at the same time. So thank you for watching. It's been a bit of a shorter stream compared to the one I just did. I think my voice is dying right now, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you